Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we're
Spit it out.
lot of hot topics to discuss today on the show. We're sorry we weren't here yet last week because I know you just missed us.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't anybody's fault. Things happen, and that's how you do it.
Hey, when you get the call, you got to go. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
So,
And a lot of things.
yeah, but a lot of high school stuff now is all starting up. Swimming just got their practices started on Monday, so there now every high school sport is up and running. So we'll hopefully we'll wish good luck to all the teams. But Hibbing had a few games this week. They had a hockey game Tuesday night against Duluth Denfeld, and they scored seven unanswered goals. It's 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third. And then Denfeld scored in the third, but they beat Denfeld 7-1. So I think Tate Swanson and Jace Camsel both had 2 goals in that game, and I believe Cole Swanson scored his first varsity goal. And they've had a number of that this year, where a few guys have
Getting their first
scored.
goal?
Yeah,
Nice.
getting their first goals of the year. I kind of joked. I'll tell when we start talking about basketball. I'll tell you what I said at the game, I think. But they look really good. I mean, they beat the number 1 rated team in the state in St. Cloud Cathedral and the defending state Class A champion. So what was that, 6-3, I think? Yeah. So it's I mean they're looking good. I mean, they had Cloquet 4-0 in the first period, whatever it was, a couple weeks ago, and then unfortunately they looked like a team in that first 10 minutes of that game that could win this Section 7, because they were all over the ice. They jumped Cloquet. And Cloquet coach Shea Walters, who's originally from Hibbing. I asked him, I go, well, did you think you were buried in the first period? He goes, yeah, I thought we were buried in the first period, but then for some reason, I don't know what happened, but
The light went out.
yeah, that light went out, and then they gave up a shorthanded goal late in the first period, and then Cloquet scored 6 straight goals. After that, and ended up winning 8-6. We had a penalty shot in that game that was not, and we didn't score on it, which would have helped. It would have brought them back. I mean, they were behind at the time, but by 2, I think, and at least that would have got us back by 1, and then we scored again. Maybe we could have had it tied up had that goal gone in. But
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of expectation for the boys hockey team based on the fact that a lot of these players won a Pee Wee state tournament, they won a Bantam state tournament, and now they're playing on the big ice in the high school. And one night they lived up to their expectations, and one night they didn't.
Yeah, and
That's hockey.
And now they have Proctor tonight, in Proctor, and then they go down to Totino Grace on Saturday.
Nice.
So their schedule. I don't know how Proctor is, but they're Proctor's 3-2 according to our disembodied voice.
There's that mystery voice.
Yeah, it just comes out of the air somewhere. I don't know how.
Director's got to speak up once in a while.
Usually when I'm saying my prayers at night, I hear that guy talking too.
So they're not backing down. I mean, they have a tough schedule this year. And we didn't quite know how they would do, but they look strong. And if they continue to play hard, they will do fine.
Well, that's what the season's for. You play to get better, so that when it comes tournament time, you're the team to beat. And right now, I think they're probably going to be one of the teams to beat.
Well, they should be, but the way Cloquet handled them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they didn't handle them, but it was just unfortunate that happened.
But again, the road to state always goes through Hermantown.
Yes.
They
So.
haven't won a game yet.
Yeah, they haven't won a game yet, so.
Oh, well. Well, no, obviously they play a tough schedule. They don't back down from any AA schools.
Right.
I mean, they're always playing good competition.
Well,
So,
they should be double A.
well, that's a debate maybe we'll have at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
you
not
should
even
be
a debate. It's not
With all
even
the
a
recruiting
debate.
they do, they should be double
Well,
A. There, I
that's
said it.
not, yeah, thank you. send your letters and emails to Mike Egan.
Yeah, I mean, don't go after our sponsor.
Nope, it's not
With
our.
the strawberry locomoco or
Yeah, Berry Punch Shaker.
berry punch shaker. There we
So,
go.
thank you to our unofficial, official sponsor, Caribou Coffee. But, yeah, no, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. Obviously, one of their defensemen is hurt. Jackson Strukel broke his leg in the fall, but in talking to him, he said he should be back skating by mid-December, and
Good.
by the end of December, hopefully he'll be back in the lineup, and they'll just be one player stronger and deeper. And a lot of these guys have handled it. I mean, Dylan Vessel has handled it really well. He's played well on defense, and Whitaker Rewerts, for a freshman, there's another one right there. That kid is unreal, I think. But I don't know hockey talent, but it looks good. And I told you before we got on the air that Cole and Tate Swanson have this chemistry between the two of them. That's fantastic, and they got paired up with or teamed up with Jace Kamsala, and I told Jace the other night, playing with those two, you should score 50 goals. And he kind of laughed and all that, but it was like, yeah, no, they're the real deal, I'll tell you.
And it sounds like the youth programs are excelling,
Well, I don't know. You might know more about it than I do, but
just from what I've been told.
all right, because I don't talk to anybody who really has anybody involved with youth hockey, so hopefully that's the case. And
That was just a sign of, and this group here, not to get off the subject, but this is a group that's been, like I said, that won a Pee Wee, won a Bantam. So this is how they built the program to be successful, and it's carried on into the high school now, where some incidents, they've done well in the youth, and they get into high school, and it really
Yeah.
goes to hell. So
yeah,
I think it's good for the program, good for the future of boys hockey.
that's
in Hibbing.
right. Girls hockey, I know they beat the Falls the other day. They've got a couple wins now, I think. So they're starting to come along. Very young group, a lot of sophomores and freshmen. So they're learning. They're learning the game the way Hibbing wants to play it, and their goalie's played fantastic. Other than one game, the goalie has played fantastic, and she only played a couple times last year. But she seems to be solid. Their defense are solid. Lily Renskers has been missing games due to injury, but she's supposed to be coming back here, so they'll have their full complement of defensemen back. And they just don't have. They're getting scoring, but they just don't have that
Pure score.
pure score. And like Pete Heiduk said, those are few and far between.
Yep.
You don't find them a whole lot, but so they have to work hard for their goals, and they're coming along. So they should be fine. I don't think they play this week. I gotta check here.
Do you have that fill-in music you can play while the
Yeah.
Bucks are around?
Yeah, I don't think. Oh wait, they do have Cloquet tonight.
Ooh, okay.
So they do play tonight, 7:00 at the Memorial Arena against Cloquet Esco Carleton, and I think they're off the rest of the week.
And as we mentioned before we came on the air, if you want to go watch a hockey game, whether your team wins or loses, go to the Memorial Building. It's quite an experience to watch a game
It
there.
is. And the boys' games have been. There's been pretty good crowds.
Yep.
Not full.
Not like the
capacity.
day when I told you earlier,
Yeah.
I went to my first hockey game in Hibbing back in the late 80s, and it was Edina and Hibbing playing, and I couldn't even get into it.
Yeah, yeah.
They had season ticket holders.
So there's that. Boys basketball. They opened against Bemidji on
Yep.
Tuesday night.
Tough team.
Tough team, 4A school. And it was 19-18 when I got to the game. Hibbing was up by a point, and there was like maybe 5 minutes to go in the first half. And I was the bad luck charm because Bemidji went on a 9-0 run when I got there,
Yeah.
and then they took a 10-point lead at the half. I heard that the Jack, and I was running between 3 sports on Tuesday because they had hockey and wrestling.
Right.
And I heard they got it cut back down to about six or 8 in the second half. But these two kids, Boshi and Reers, it's Riewer, Reer. scored 32 and 25
Oof,
respectively.
wow.
You know, and one they combined for 8 3-pointers. So that's how good that Bemidji is. I mean, when you got two kids that can do that, you're no doubt you're going to be good. So, you know, they handled themselves well. They had a little trouble handling some pressure. They lost the ball, I think, too easily when they were taking it up court. It wasn't necessarily.
Little deja vu
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like we talked after the game, they have to take better care of the ball. They can't lose it so easily. They got to be stronger on it, I guess is the word I'm trying to think of, wanted to use. They have to be stronger on the ball. Make passes that are there, not where you see a ghost and think you can get a pass in there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, you got to make sure, keep it simple. I mean, you don't have to try these fancy things this early in the season. I mean, as you get along in the season and you're maybe playing better and faster, then you can start trying stuff like that. But just make simple passes. Ray Brow had 23 points in the game. I got to give a shout out to him. And Lucas Arnold, I think, had 13 or 15. In his first year back, he missed all last year because he had some injury problems with his shoulders, I think. So
Well, you got to remember too, new coach, new system. You know, it's going to take a little while to to get it going. So
yeah, no, and I they looked, you know, they were competitive until later in the game when Bemidji started pulling away. But they were draining so many 3-pointers and.
kind of like the NBA.
Well, yeah, that's what they look like, and they look like they had shooters that could play in the NBA. So that was all right. They don't. I think they play Hermantown. No, let me play that music again.
Play that funky music, Ron.
Let's see here. Friday they go to Hermantown and play. That'll be a good test. That will be a good test. We'll see. I don't know if Hermantown lost quite a bit to graduation, but you can't judge a book by its cover, I guess. So you got to you have to go play the game and see how it turns out.
Yep.
So there's that. Girls basketball took it on the chin Tuesday.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's not funny.
It's
I mean,
deflating for a program.
Duluth Marshall, I don't even know if we should say the score, to be honest with you. I don't want to necessarily, but Duluth Marshall is private school.
Recruiting school.
They have the one player not recruited is the Johnson girl, and I don't know her first name. She's a very good player. Her brother, I believe, was on the boys' team or is still on the boys' team. He was a very good player. Brooks, I think his name was. I don't know her first name. But then they picked up, I've heard, allegedly, that they picked up a couple girls from ESCO and one from Duluth East. And then you said they got a 8th grader.
7-footer.
Yeah. From whoever, where she transferred in from, I have no idea.
Yeah, wasn't from Minnesota.
Well, whatever. So Marshall, I mean, if you want to keep an eye on a team that could do something damage in the state, I guess watch the Hilltoppers.
Yep.
Because they're going to be fantastic. Hopefully they get out of the section here. I'm assuming they will. I don't know what team's going to beat that team, but it's a matter. They just have to regroup and just get better as the season goes on. And I know they have a game coming up here on Saturday down at Tartan, I believe.
Well, let's hope they can keep it under 100.
Tartan High School.
That's what we'll say, right?
Well, nobody needs to. If you can always go check Minnesota scores if you want to see what the score was, but I'm not gonna sit here and disparage anybody because it's a game and these girls are trying hard and it'll get better. So just keep working.
It's just one
hard.
game. I think that's all you got to remember. Maybe the coaches already told them it's one game, and then you go on to the next one. So.
Well, except they may have had I don't want to say her name either, but they may have an injury issue with one of their players, and that's not going to help the cause if she can't play the rest of this season.
Right.
So, and it wasn't a knee, so thank God it wasn't a knee, but maybe she'll come back you know, in maybe 6 weeks. If she wants to come back, I don't know, but so hopefully she'll heal up and come back, and because she's a good player, and
She's also a three-sport.
yeah, she's a three-sport athlete, so she's been through it,
Yep.
the wars, and so she'll help immensely if she can get back. So we'll say it there. Wrestling team, they went down to a Tonka. They call it the Tonka Turkey Tussle.
Minnetonka.
Yeah, and
Say that real fast.
yeah.
3 times. I mean, Dunker, Duker, Dunkle.
And they, I don't think he had a full team down there, but there was an individual tournament, and some of the teams they were wrestling against what was like Simley, which is always
The
tough
top
in
three,
wrestling, Waconia, and a bunch of others like that. And they didn't fare that badly. I mean, Ian Larrabee, I think, was second. He finished second at heavyweight. I think he obviously was their top placer.
Yeah.
So he,
But again, he's wrestling, what, 180, 190? He's probably wrestling against guys that are well over 200 pounds.
well, he's probably about 230, 235.
Was he that big, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's good sized.
Oh, okay.
But he's still at heavyweight. It's up to 285.
Oh, boy.
You know, so I'm sure he's wrestling against kids that are a little bit heavier than he is. But Ian's a great wrestler.
Would Ron make that weight limit?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Ron could
Not
probably.
anymore.
But yeah, no, and the other ones didn't fare too badly. I mean, it's good competition, and that's what you need to see.
And they have a girls wrestling program?
They have
too?
girls, and they have 10 girls
Nice.
actually this year, and Coach Wojciechowski and Anderson are, and they have is it a Hoot
Husko.
No, Hoot Cooper.
Who's Cooper?
Oh,
Was
okay.
just hired as an assistant last night
All
at
right,
the board meeting.
all right. So you know who I'm talking
Manny
about.
Husko. Not Husko. Who's Cooper? See, now you got me doing
You
it.
don't even know.
It's Who's Cooper.
So they're working with them, and two of them have experience. The other 8 are first year wrestlers, but good for them
Yeah.
for going out for the sport. I mean, wrestling is a great sport it'll get you in shape
Oh,
for your other sports, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. I mean, and so good luck to them. I can hardly wait to watch them wrestle. And they did wrestle Tuesday night against Aiken, and they did beat the Gobblers 58-15. And that I walked into the gym, and the last 3 matches were forfeits, so I didn't get to see any of them wrestle, unfortunately. But when I looked up at the scoreboard, I'm like, I think that's the home side of the scoreboard that has that big number on it. I was right, but I couldn't believe it because Aiken's usually
Pretty good.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So good for them. I mean, they picked up 5 or 6 falls, and unfortunately for Aiken, they picked up 5 or 6 forfeits. So Aiken does not have a full team, so you can't go into a meet
What happened?
18 to 24 points behind because you don't have wrestlers in
Right.
spots. I mean, that's even Woj told me that yesterday when I interviewed him for his preview. For his team this year, they only had 1 forfeit that night at like 2:15, I think. But he said, I'm not going into meets this year
Down.
18 to 24 points behind because of forfeits. So
Was it last year, last couple, they haven't had a Christmas tournament. Do you know if they're having
no,
one this year?
yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. That one was always the first
Big
weekend
draw for
of
them.
January, and it's too bad the Hibbing duels, and it's just too bad that they can't, like resurrect that and get it
Right.
back, because that was always a fun weekend. I think 8 teams, all from I like White Bear Lake. I know a few, and I suppose Grand Rapids. I don't know if Rapids was ever in it, but yeah, but that's going to be fun. I don't think they have that many home meets either, but they also have a meet in Boston, I believe, on Saturday.
And they wrestle at the high school gym, correct?
Yes,
The girls' high school gym.
so
That's their home court.
yeah. So good luck to them. Swimmers probably start swim. They'll have their relay race next week sometime. So good luck to all the sports teams. Skiers, I haven't heard anything yet, but at least there's snow.
They got snow and cold.
So they're going to get out a lot. Well, I suppose they make snow at Giants Ridge anyway, but
Yeah.
now they have at least real snow to pack down and get ready to go there. So good luck to Bryce Wally and his team.
Winter sports are here.
They are.
Imagine you're running around like a
Winter-
chicken with your
well,
head cut off.
That was the issue the other night when you have three things going on at once and you just
Did you say it's an issue or a tissue? Yeah.
no issue. I don't, and it's like, why do you do this to me? Not that it's personal or anything, but it's like, I want to get to everything and I want to make
Yeah.
sure things are covered.
You gotta get an associate assistant for it.
Well, something, or I need to clone myself, which would not be a
Oh
good
my
thing
God.
either.
There be two of you on this show?
Yeah, that
Oh,
would be
yeah,
something,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
I'd really have to come up with some smart marks.
But-
Yeah.
So hopefully, Mr. Please takes care of some of that issues, because where do you get? But it's not me. I mean, I don't care about me. I take care of myself. But where do you get the fans?
Yeah.
I mean, now you got fans spread out at hockey, basketball, and I don't know how. I hope people go to wrestling
Yeah.
because they should support those kids. They work really hard, and but yeah, you're taking away fans from one.
Yeah.
You know, instead of making, I don't know, maybe the gate all evens out. I don't know, because you got three things. I mean, you know, I don't.
And then the Christmas tournaments will be coming up. I don't know if they're gonna be on the same weekend.
Well, they
again.
don't have hockey. Does not have theirs anymore.
They don't?
No, they travel now. They traveled last year down south, and they're traveling again this year down south, I believe.
That makes sense.
Well, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. But boys basketball, I'm sure will have theirs, and I don't
Right.
know if the girls have one or not this year. If they're going anywhere after Christmas or not.
Is this a sign of the time that we don't have tournaments during the middle of the season?
No, because I think a bunch of
Or is
schools
it because
have
of
them.
traveling?
Yeah, that could be the issue, and
But even back in a few years ago, the Christmas tournament like had Chisholm in there, which was a rival, which always made it interesting to watch. Rapids, Nashwauk, and some of the Duluth schools would come. I mean,
yeah, it's I don't know why. I mean, I'm trying to find whether or not the
Well,
girls have a tournament.
well, like they say that when I work for the Enquirer, inquiring people need to know.
Yeah, inquiring minds, which I don't have.
That story I ran about you at the Enquirer, I'll take it back.
I'm gonna check here. Actually, the girls do have, I believe, they do have a tournament here.
Oh, good.
So starts the 27th, 28th, and the 28th. It's probably 4 schools, I would think.
Okay.
So they do. I mean, they call it a tournament, but that's all right. At least
Yeah.
the boys and the girls will have tournaments here that week, and
It's like a 4-game scramble.
yeah.
So,
Uh,
hey, we were getting.
I know we had really talked a lot about.
Yeah.
You should have heard what I'll tell you off the air what the conversation was on KFAN this morning.
Oh.
I can't. I suppose we could do it here, but it's no fun if you.
Well, let's go right to the Wild.
Oh,
So the
gosh.
rumor about Crosby's not true.
It isn't.
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Oh.
asking you.
Oh, I know. I don't. My son seems to think that Pittsburgh will never trade him, and I doubt
Mm.
if they would. But I don't think you trade somebody like that. But
Well, he'd be like Gretzky. He'll go from Edmonton to L.A. to New York, and then
No.
he'll retire.
he's got the ties here with Guerin and Fleury, but
Right.
I don't know if Pittsburgh they'd have any inkling of trading their superstar player.
But they sure are playing well.
Hmm.
And as you mentioned last year and this year, they finally got scoring out of Kaprizov, and they're winning.
Well, I don't have the numbers. Obviously, I should have checked, but
He leads the league in scoring.
well, but last year after 25 games, I'll bet he didn't have 10 points.
Right.
And now this year, he leads the league in scoring, and surprise, they're doing better.
And defensively, they're the top team in the
Yeah.
league. So
Top team in the league. Philippe Gustafson is playing outstanding. The defense in front of him is playing outstanding.
the play-by-play announcer the other night mentioned that they had such a hard training camp that they're actually in year-ending shape right now.
Well,
So
Well, you got to remember, Hines took over the job in December or November, one of the 2 months last year. So he didn't get the training camp with him. Now he has had a full year, and something clicked. I don't know what, but something did. So good for them.
Vikings pulled out another. I turned them off at halftime. I couldn't watch anymore.
I think people are waiting for them to explode on offense, and I don't know why it's not happening. They say Sam Darnold's playing like one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and maybe he is, but it just doesn't seem like that offense is that explosive.
Well, I'm sure they are explosive, but when your star running back fumbles the ball twice, drops a touchdown pass, it's pretty tough.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help, obviously. The Timberwolves, I turned the game on last night in the fourth quarter, 9 minutes in, or just 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, and the Clippers only had 55 points. What the heck's gotten into the Timberwolves now?
Defense.
Well,
3 games, is it 3 games or 2 games in a row they've held their opponents under 100 points. And they actually, I watched them last night as you did, and they actually moved the ball pretty well. And there's not this
hero ball.
discomfort amongst the players like they're trying to say they had.
Well, and who knows? Maybe Anthony Edwards hit it on the head when he evidently made some statements down there about this team being soft. And if he was referring to himself too, that's good. I mean, I hope he was, But yeah, maybe that's what it takes, is to come out and tell it like it is.
Yep.
And they picked their play up, and they should be a well over 500 team. So
They're 11-10 right now.
yeah,
So
good.
but they got a tough 4-game schedule. They play the Golden State Warriors twice,
Yeah.
and then LA again, and then Sacramento or something.
Well, it's somewhere in there.
West Coast swing.
So.
So
But hey, we've come to the end of another show. Hope you enjoyed it. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Giambetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. HPAT thanks Premier Fitness at the Lux for their donation and support. They welcome individual and family memberships. To learn more, call them at 218-440-1191. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Hibbing Public Access TV may be viewed on these platforms: hpat.org with video on demand, Mediacom Hibbing 802, 805, and 807. On Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Download the Hibbing Public Access TV app for your iPhone and Android devices. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. For more information, scan the QR code and go to hpat.org.